Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Moletrap here, bringing you game number 4. Sagyungi. Game number 4. I don't know if Sagyungi means game number 4 actually, but that's what it said on the screen there. It said 4 and then Gyeonggi. So, you know, kind of assuming. Anyway, game number 4 here of Julyzerg versus XellOs. Two legends in their prime, or maybe a little after his prime, if we're thinking about XellOs, you know. Again, I've talked about this before, how he was super dominant in 2003, but has been solid, has been, not actually more than solid, has been very good, has been a top-level player in 2004 and 5 still. Achieving a lot, getting into the Star Leagues, getting pretty high in some of the Star Leagues actually, but not winning them as he was in 2003. So I don't know how you want to define that, but in any case, both players, you know, players that, you know, when I started casting in 2007 were not ones that you would really think of as, you know, the top level competitors. They were kind of hadn't kept up. You know, I don't think they got worse or anything like that. I think other people just got better. You know, that's the way things go like this is people learn from you. If you're the best, people learn from you. They learn how to be as good as you, and then they can use their own experience to improve on it, you know. That's the way humans work in general. That's the way the evolution of knowledge works in the world with humanity, you know? People spend their lives doing something. They spend less time than it took them to learn how to do it, teaching someone else to do it, and that person then has a head start to learn how to do it better, right? And so, pro gaming is kind of a microcosm of that in a way. Anyway, Julyzerg once again trying to get a hatchery down at an expansion here. Now, this is actually a crucial map for this thing that we're seeing right now. We see 2 barracks, by the way. Julyzerg is getting gas, so he's going to try and get speed links. He's probably going to pull the drones off of gas after that. He's actually abandoned that attempt. Is pulling this drone back here. Actually, well, not abandoned the attempt at making a hatchery, but that drone was almost dead, so he kind of had to fall back with it. I'm not sure how much health the SCV has, but he's delayed that second hatchery for a while, and that is a good thing for XellOs, because that means that Julyzerg will not be able to, even if he goes and builds one right now, the creep will not be there in time to actually build any defenses. Look at this. XellOs is actually worried about this Zerglings, though, building a bunker in his main. Look at this. XellOs with the aggression, Julyzerg with the counter aggression. Look at this beautiful depot wall, by the way, with the bunker in the middle. It's really cute. Really interesting SimCity there. Anyway, it's like not as strong. Well, I guess it is kind of strong actually, because I'm thinking like, well, the Zerglings can still get in there and surround it, but if you build buildings all around your bunker, then you also can't get SCVs there to surround it, and so to repair it. So it's kind of interesting how that works. But either way, it's a strong defense. Strong defense. Julyzerg going in with these several Zerglings who now have the speed upgrade. I think we just saw it finish actually. Those Zerglings were just running away from that refinery and sped up a little bit, and they're going to be doing some harassment. Another refinery SCV picked off, and XellOs is playing this pretty well. Julyzerg has gotten that hatchery down now, by the way, and the observer's reading my mind and going back and spotting that for us as well. Is he going to get a third refinery SCV? There's a lot of Marines there. I don't think he can really risk diving back in to get another SCV anymore. Academy going down as well. But in any case, I was just thinking that delaying that hatchery, if he was going to go for an expansion, would have been really nice. But it looks like Julyzerg was like, all right, well, you're going to delay my expansion? I'll make Zerglings instead, bro. Let's go. You want to play aggressive? You want to play the early game? Let's do it. I'm the god of war. I forgot to look that up between games about Tushin and the origin of it. If someone knows, please leave a comment, and if I see it, I'll pin it actually so everyone can see. So if you're curious, check the pinned comments, and if someone has already stated it and I've already pinned it, then there you go. Although, as I mentioned before, I'm on the road, so I won't really be checking YouTube comments super often in order to be able to pin it, so I don't know. Anyway. Julyzerg here is really putting pressure on XellOs. And remember, if Julyzerg wins this game, he advances to the finals. It is all on the line here for XellOs right now. And so Julyzerg, you know, as he's putting this pressure onto XellOs and taking control of the game, he must be feeling very good about his chances. But you can't underestimate a Terran, especially a Terran like XellOs, with 2 barracks. I mean, you know, Julyzerg's putting this pressure on, but this whole time that this pressure is going on, XellOs is building Marines, building up that force, and that's why Julyzerg knows that this push is coming. He knows the push is coming, and he's building these crypt colonies, turning them into Sunkens ahead of time in order to make sure that he can withstand this push that's going to be coming. But again, Julyzerg's been buying time. He's been buying time to get those Sunkens up. He's been buying time to get his economy up, get his drone count up, and just in general, get everything working along. He also has the Hydralis deck, and is probably very close to Lurker tech at this point, actually. There's the Hydralis moving on the map. Julyzerg likes to do this. I think a lot of Zergs like to do this, actually, but I feel like I've especially seen it from Julyzerg. You know, when you get the Lurker tech imminent, you send a couple Hydralisks out into the map ahead of time, so they can morph into Lurkers in a counterattack position and be ready. As soon as you have Lurkers done, they're ready to go in for a counterattack. That's exactly what he's doing. They're kind of around the corner from XellOs' base in a spot where they're not going to get spotted and picked off easily, but they're still close enough that they can move in for the kill very quickly. He's actually running Zerglings out onto the map as well. This is the counterattack that we know and love from Julyzerg. There's 2 Firebats on the ramp there, but all he needs to do is get those Lurkers above the ramp, and the Firebats will be forced to fall back. There's no medics there either, crucially. Now, XellOs has done the damage of forcing the Sunken colonies. He's falling back with his main force. There we go. The Lurkers burrow. The Firebats fall back. The Zerglings and the Lurkers go further down the ramp. He's actually going to bypass the tank and go straight for the mineral line. He does have a scanner. The Firebats take out the first Lurker. The second one is in danger. It needs to burrow right now, or at least get somewhere safe. He's trying to get around to the back of the mineral line before he burrows. It's so close to death, but it's alive, and it burrows, and it actually picks off the Firebat as well. And it looks like he does not have a second scan. Oh my goodness, this is actually really bad. This is really brilliant by Julyzerg to move that. Oh no! Oh no! He's losing units to not paying attention to them at the expansion. He finally gets out of it. It looks like he lost a medic and a couple Marines to that Lurker there. He just didn't realize his units were camped on top of the Lurker for a little bit. Now the Lurker is forced back in fear from those Marines. So it looks like he cleans up the Lurker in his main. Pretty minimal damage done, actually. 2 Lurkers for maybe 4 SCVs, a couple attack units. So not the best trade for Julyzerg. So it was, you know, well done by XellOs by having the right scans, by taking those Lurkers out very quickly. Julyzerg, it's interesting that he decided to run by. Instead of burrowing and moving forward and burrowing, he just said, okay, Zerglings, you take care of this. I'm going to run these Lurkers by. And, you know, I think it might have worked even better if he'd actually run that first Lurker up at the same time instead of kind of running them both to the right and then one up or something like that. But, you know, hindsight is 20/20, and this is 2021, so it's a completely different story. This is 2020 part 2. One of my favorite pandemic memes was the one where they said there was a theory that hindsight is 20/20 was actually something that a time traveler said as a way of warning us or something like that. Anyway, Julyzerg looks like he's about to get his 3rd base up. He's got the Lurkers. He's got a little bit of a contain on XellOs right now. Sends in a little exploratory Zergling. Runs happily, skips to his death in order to get a gauge of what the army size is. Also kind of see, are there tanks behind those Marines? Is there a command center floating out there looking to expand right now? So, you know, it's useful. Even if you run that Zergling and it dies immediately, you still get a good vision of what's going on. Julyzerg has done the Lurkers into mutas that we discussed before, and the mutas are now flying across the map. It's a very close position, actually, for those mutas to get to XellOs' base. XellOs has not taken an expansion, so he can at least be pretty defensive here. But does he... Wait, does he have turrets? I don't know if he has turrets. Vod, what are you doing? Stop it, Vod. I don't know if he has any turrets. Does he must, right? He must have some turrets in his main that we can't see. He doesn't have an engineering bay. Oh my goodness. This could be catastrophic. Now, again, this would be possibly the end of the game if Mutalisk clumping was a thing yet, but it's not. You can see right now, Julyzerg is microing these Mutalisks very well, but they're not clumped up with an Overlord, I don't think. You can see by the way they're flying when they aren't attacking, you know? So now there's turrets going up. Oh, the Science Vessel is out. The first vessel looks like it's going to get attacked and killed, but he loses 1, 2, 3 Mutalisks as a trade. I feel like that's actually pretty good for July. It's not bad for Julyzerg. I won't say it's good, but it's not bad. You know, the vessel is, I think, more important than 3 Mutalisks at this point in time. A Radiate is not quite complete yet, so we couldn't quite get an Irradiate off there. But look at this defensive position by XellOs. He's got tanks sieged up in his main. He's worried about the Lurkers. He's got all these Medic Marines. He's got a couple turrets as well, of course. But in any case, one vessel could irradiate and do significant damage to all of those mutas. So, you know, losing 3 Mutalisks worth of hit points, one irradiate could do more than that amount of hit points. So it kind of makes sense, you know, in that sense. But XellOs is really kind of all in here. He's on this one base, trying to build up his forces. But I don't think he even has a command center building right now, does he? Oh, the depot's going to burn down. That's unfortunate. Yeah, 2 barracks, a factory, and a starport. He is just basically getting as much stuff as he possibly can off of one base, and he's going to move out. But he has to move out soon, I think, because otherwise Julyzerg is going to just... I mean, he's already taken the map. I think at this point he's had his 3rd base up long enough that he's fully saturated with drones. Like, I think his window might even be closed. Okay, now there's a command center going up, but I feel like it's a little bit late. Again, I might be thinking in terms of the 2020 meta, though. But I feel like it's a little bit late for XellOs to be trying to expand off of this. He's got 4 buildings to build units off of one base right now. Oh, and he's even going to lose the SCV building, that command center, slowing it down even more. He does have another vessel out, and he's got these tanks, so he's going to start moving out. Another SCV goes down. That command center is just never going to get built, is it? Julyzerg even just battling these Marines as they're in the base. What is XellOs going to do? Is he going to turn around, or is he going to go forward? He's going to go forward, and it's kind of what you have to do in this situation. No, is he? No, he's actually just sieging up in the natural to try and take control of that space. What can XellOs do? He's kind of trapped. He can't go either way. Now he's bringing his forces back, but there's another dozen Mutalisks coming in from the other side as well. Julyzerg has so many Mutalisks. Defense Matrix goes down on a Marine to draw that fire, and that Marine actually is surviving pretty well. But Julyzerg flies out of there with 18 or 20 Mutalisks. He has a lot of those mutas. And if he adds a couple Lurkers and some Zerglings in there, that force will be basically unstoppable. XellOs forced back down his ramp. He really wanted to maintain control of the top of his ramp. So much that he was like, I'm going to kind of ignore these mutas in my main. And this is why. He wants to make sure he had a bit more of a break against these... the Lurkers coming in, and actually the vessel is still there. It looked like he might have been going for the vessel. Julyzerg going in with a lot of Mutalisks, losing a few. There's now 2 vessels out. He's got to have Irradiate research by now, right? I'm not sure exactly what he's waiting for with the Irradiates, but he should be able to get a couple of Irradiates off in this next battle if Julyzerg pushes in. Julyzerg could theoretically just take the map, you know? Where's the Irradiate? Where's the Irradiate? Where is it? No, he's not irradiating. Maybe he's waiting for the Mutalisks to be really engaged in battle so that they have to take damage falling back while they're irradiated, and it'll be more difficult to pull them apart. Because that's one of the advantages of the Mutalisks not being clumped up, is that it's relatively... It's not easy, but it's a lot easier to pull out the irradiated Mutalisk and not do as much damage. Oh, there he goes. There's an irradiate. See, he pulls it off very quickly. Because he can kind of spot which one it is very easily. And so very little damage done by those Radiates, actually. So I think he probably has 1 or 2 more Radiates in the bank at this point. Otherwise, he might have not been using it. But I'm just theorizing like why he might not have used it earlier. It might be because he was waiting for them to be more clumped up while they're attacking and more distracted in order to use those Radiates. I don't know. But anyway, XellOs is pushing out. He has made that command center. He's finally floated out to his natural expansion. I just had a thought. Does Julyzerg have a Greater Spire right now? Morphing. I'll bet he does. I'll bet he does. We haven't seen Julyzerg's base in a while. He's going super bullish on these Mutalisks. He has to have been getting some tech in the background. I mean, he's been building a ton of Mutalisks, but he has to be doing something more than just massing Mutalisks while he's doing this, right? This is just crazy, though. He has so many Mutas. Look, he's building more Lurkers. Nope, no hive. Never mind. He's just going to kill him with Lair Tech. And looks like we're going to see maybe another Irradiate as he's going after that Science Facility. There's the Irradiate. Pulls it off very quickly. And I think Julyzerg is actually grouping up his healthy Mutalisks and going in for attacks. And then I think he was pulling back the second group. The second group, I think, was injured Mutalisks, so he was kind of saving to try and refill their hit points or something like that over time. We can't really tell, but that's my theory of why he was only going with, like, one of his groups there. But now he's got so many Mutalisks, so many Lurkers. There's no Zerglings in this mix, but it doesn't even matter. He goes in with so many Mutalisks on top of everything. The Lurkers are killing the tank. The Lurkers are not in the best position to kill the Marines, but it doesn't really matter that much. He's going to be able to get on top of that tank, and everything dies. XellOs' entire force has been slaughtered. His medics are running for their lives back into the natural expansion choke point. Irradiate's going off on a couple of these Lurkers. He might barely be able to defend this, but a lot of damage done there. He even gets a free vessel on the way out there. But actually, Julyzerg, he just lost a lot of Mutalisks. He's been investing all of his money for the last, like, 6 minutes in just mass mutas. And, of course, those Lurkers at the end. He just lost all of them. And now he's going in again. This Lurker is going to die very quickly, so there's no Lurker damage happening here. But, again, Julyzerg just might have too much stuff. XellOs is fighting for dear life right now. This is the final game for him. If he loses it, he'll be eliminated from this Star League. If he loses this game, so he's fighting as hard as he can, hoping that he can hang on here. He's trying to repair the turrets. No, he's actually not even repairing that second turret. Some reinforcement Marines coming in from the side. He's just hoping that he can somehow barely hold out. I don't think there's even any Marines in that bunker, though. And the tanks are going to go down. The vessels are going to go down to the Mutalisks. There they all die. The bunker's going to go down as well. And Julyzerg is going to be adding in some Lurkers to this attack very soon. There's not even any turrets here, ladies and gentlemen. Julyzerg is going to be going to the finals yet again, ladies and gentlemen. And he will not be facing Nada or Uv this time. Although he did beat Uv, of course, before. So, you know, that's not necessarily the biggest stumbling block. But Julyzerg looking really, really, really solid. Also, you know, not just playing well against XellOs here, but not making some of the mistakes that we saw him make against Goodfriend in the previous Star League. Looking extremely dominant here. Looking like a champion, ladies and gentlemen. And at the very least, he's going to get silver because he is going to go to the finals. Despite this last-ditch Irradiate. I mean, he's holding it off barely, but I don't know how XellOs can come back into this. Okay, apparently he's still alive, I guess. But XellOs lost a bunch of SCVs. He actually... Oh, we're going to see GG from the scan. He scanned the third base. Well, I guess he knew it was there anyway. He's gonna try and re-land the command center and go for... Okay, he's mined out in his main. So if he loses the natural one more time, he loses all of his mining, and it's definitely the game for him. If it isn't already. But Julyzerg is just going... This is Julyzerg, ladies and gentlemen. Just build infinity Mutalisks and just be so aggressive with masses of units that you can just dominate your opponent's army just with sheer numbers. And not even necessarily using a lot of tactics. I mean, obviously he's being tactical, but, like, you know, he's not teching up and getting swarm and dark swarming and going with Zerglings and reproing Lurkers. He's just like, I'm just gonna get a bunch of stuff and just overwhelm you. And, you know, it's kind of interesting that this is like the 2005 version, you know? This is like the Storm Zerg, you know, and then later on we see the Sauron Zerg. I don't know if we see any Sauron Zerg. And, you know, I've never seen, like, a definition of Sauron Zerg or anything like that, but the way it's used, I feel like, or the way I use it at least, Sauron Zerg is when you've got, like, you know, it's kind of like what we saw with Go Rush a little bit, you know, with a couple of his games, where you just have 5 or 6 bases, or maybe Julyzerg did it in one of the games also, but, where you just have like 5 or 6 bases and you just have so much economy that you could just make tons of units and just keep throwing wave after wave after wave after wave at your opponent and just overwhelm them with just the sheer force of numbers without even necessarily, you know, you micro and you put your swarms down and everything, but the key is just to have so much stuff that it's just overwhelming and your opponent just can't possibly kill it all in time before it kills you, it kills them. And so this is like a kind of an earlier iteration of that, or a different iteration of that, where it's a lower econ version that we see players like Julyzerg able to do so well. And, you know, Yellow as well. You know, Yellow, I think, was called the Stormzerg because he was one of the first Zergs to do this kind of style of play, and we've seen that in some of his games in the, you know, 2002-3 time period and such. So, anyway, now we have the Hive Tech. Defiler Mound, half completed, so he's still a few minutes away from having lots of Dark Swarms with the Consume upgrade. You know, XellOs, I feel like is not going to be able to move out and punish Julyzerg right now. And so, as long as Julyzerg can hold out for those 2 minutes and get the Dark Swarms out, he'll be able to push back into that natural and there won't be anything to stop him this time. I don't know how XellOs managed to hold on there, by the way. It's kind of amazing that he is still in this game. It's kind of ridiculous. And as soon as he moves out, the Mutalisks come back into the natural. Well, there's no turrets, by the way, and this is a good map for air. We always see Mutalisks, and you often see Guardians on this map, actually, because of the fact that there's that ridge behind the natural. So XellOs, this is a good way to get back into a game. Drop, distract the back line, and so he's trying to do that a little bit, but, oh, Julyzerg is actually prepared for it. He's got Zerglings there. He's got a few Hydralisks as well. Not completely prepared for it, actually. He actually loses all those forces. He's going to continue to lose some drones. Well, I guess he is prepared for it because he has a Nidus Canal there. So he's going to be able to polish off that little drop. Not a significant amount of damage done compared to what Julyzerg has right now. Julyzerg is getting close to mining out his natural, actually, which means he's probably close to mining out his main as well. So, I mean, I was calling this for Julyzerg. Was I wrong? Did I call this too soon? Did I mean, is this going to be another upset? No, there's the Dark Swarm. I mean, it's still possible. He's got plenty of room. Requiem has a lot of room in the middle of the map to dodge all over the place. You can basically dodge infinitely the Dark Swarms. You risk the counterattack against your natural where there is no room to maneuver. But you can go up and down and left and right in the middle of this map, and you can dodge the lurkers as they chase you around pretty easily. So if XellOs can somehow sort of maintain pressure in the middle, he might be able to dodge this army even with the Dark Swarms, but you know, he's only got 3 vessels. He needs kind of more, I think, to irradiate all the defilers and all the lurkers. There's a dozen lurkers now. I think the defilers might all be dead, but he's pushing in closer with these lurkers. They're within range of the bunker. And with the Dark Swarm, it's going to definitely take it out. And, yeah. Oh, he tries to go for another drop in the main. The Scourge take it out before a single Marine gets out of the hatch. And, yeah, I mean, this is kind of what I was saying 2 minutes ago. As long as he can wait 2 minutes to get those swarms, he can go into that natural and nothing will be able to stop him. And he even loses the vessels. So, I don't think I called it wrong after all. XellOs is going to be eliminated here. I don't know what he can do about it. That vessel's out of energy, so yep, he's gonna plant down another. Oh, new vessel comes in, radiates the defiler, but remember, XellOs doesn't have a main. XellOs doesn't have a main mining, and so this natural is all the money he has incoming right now, and now that's 0. So XellOs is gonna be eliminated, unfortunately. Julyzerg is going to be advancing to the finals. Now, of course, XellOs is going to have a chance in the 3rd place match to still claim a seed in the next Star League. The 4th place player does not get an automatic seed. The 4 seeds into the group stage in the round of 16 are the numbers 1, 2, and 3, and then the winner of the, I think it's called the Challenge League or whatever, the qualifying tournament before the round of 16. Or maybe it's before that. Actually, it may even be before that stage. There's an earlier, I don't know. The tournament formats were a little bit convoluted back in the day. But they made for good. They were good though. They're complicated, but in a good way. Yeah, when you get lurkers on your ramp, You have no mining. You gotta leave. But he's fighting to the last. Like I said, this is the semifinals. This is a big stage. Second biggest stage you can be on. He wants desperately to try as hard as he can and at least put up a good fight as he goes out. But yeah, he can still have a chance at winning more money in the third place match. Third place makes more than fourth place. And even more importantly, that crucial seed into the next Star League is another possibility. So, anyways, there's the GG. There's the GG. He held on as long as he could. And look at that. XellOs losing a crucial semifinal game. Still stoic. You can sense a tiny little bit of disappointment in his face. I'm sure there's a lot of disappointment underneath that face, but I really enjoy how stoic he is, and you can see that there, where even just losing, you know, one of the more important games of his career, probably. One of the more important games of this part of his career, I suppose. Still, you know, reacting pretty calm and cool. So Julyzerg's going to advance to the finals. XellOs is going to go to the third place match. What an amazing series, though. Excellent play, and, you know, it's just so fun to watch a player like Julyzerg play in his top form in such a great game, in such a great series against such a great player. You know, watching Julyzerg stomp a noob would not be nearly as fun as watching him play against someone who is at his level, you know? And so it's just such a treat to watch these games. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. We're going to have the other semifinal as well coming up soon. Good Friend versus Go Rush is actually going to be amazing. That's actually going to be an amazing series. I'm really looking forward to that. Good Friend has been so solid the last couple seasons. And, you know, he's played some games against Go Rush before, if I remember correctly. And they're pretty evenly matched. And they're both in such high form, you know. Good Friend, I think, is at his best. And Go Rush, one of the, you know, the only potentially, you know, we could have a duel. It could be a Julyzerg versus Go Rush finals, which would be a duel to see who is the best Zerg. You know, you might have something like that in store for us in the finals. But Go Rush is going to have to get through Good Friend first if he wants to be able to claim that title unopposedly. So that's going to be a fun series, though. Both of them in really good shape. Going to be awesome. Some more TVZ action to look forward to. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching. GG. Take care.